Hi, I'm Jieyu. I'm a part-time watercolor artist. I like to paint Tang Dynasty monochromatic watercolor portraits. Today is the day I'm making my very first watercolor paint. Guess what color I'm gonna make? I've always wanted to make watercolor paint, but I felt intimidated by the process. After doing some research, I've finally decided to try it, starting with a simpler method. To avoid making a mess on my art supplies, I'm cleaning my studio table first. To make watercolor, the essential materials are pigment. You can buy ready-made pigment powder or make your own from natural materials. Binder. The most common binder is gum arabic. It holds the pigment together and helps it stick to the paper. Water used to help mix the pigment evenly. Some optional materials are glycerin or honey. These help keep the paint from cracking when dry. Preservative prevents mold and bacteria. Oxcal, a wetting agent that helps watercolor flow more smoothly on paper. I'm keeping things simple. For pigment, I'm using ready-made fluorescent flame red pigment powder. It's finely ground, so I don't need to do extra grinding. To make it even easier, I'm using Kremer's ready-made watercolor medium, which already contains gum arabic, honey, and glycerin. You also need some equipment. Glass slab, glass motor, dropper, palette knife, measuring spoons, empty pans to store your finished watercolor paint. Protective gear. I chose to start with fluorescent watercolor because it's easier to work with compared to traditional mineral or synthetic pigments. Fluorescent pigments are usually dye-based, which means they dissolve more easily in a gum arabic binder. This makes it easier to create smooth, vibrant watercolor paints. Also, fluorescent pigments are typically already finely milled, so they don't require as much grinding as mineral pigments, which often have larger, heavier particles. I didn't really research the pigment to medium ratio enough, so my first attempt didn't go that well. The paint felt too thick and chalky while I was grinding. It turns out I didn't add enough binder, so I added more watercolor medium to fix it. Now it feels better, but still not enough. The correct ratio should be 1 part pigment to 1.5 to 2 parts Kremer watercolor medium by weight. The exact ratio varies depending on the type of pigment. I guess I just need to keep making more paints to really learn. Now let's take a break to visit the Kremer pigment store. This is where I bought my pigment and medium. It's a well-known supplier of high-quality pigments and art materials. At the New York City store, you can explore an extensive selection of mineral and synthetic pigments, along with natural dyes. The store also offers different mediums, binders, and pre-made paints. The staff are knowledgeable artists. They actually recommended that if I was new to watercolor paint making, I should start with either fluorescent pigments or iridescent pigments, and walked me through the paint making steps. The ratio finally feels about right. I started off nervous, but slowly calmed down and began to enjoy the paint making process. This color is so bright and vibrant, it's hard to take my eyes off it. With all the madness going on in this world, I'm making an effort to enjoy and appreciate the small things in life, like this beautiful paint. The paint is pretty smooth now. I tested on paper first. Then used a palette knife to fill the pans.
但是越久慢慢的一段就不能录进去了。
就是赶紧的，慢慢要录。
爸
爸过去。
去，走。
去，就去。没事，你要在这待着吧，要不？
太冷了，我们一个人。
For the last two pans, I added a bit of water to the paint mix. I want to compare them with the ones without added water. Here are my fluorescent flame red watercolors. I feel so proud of myself. Now it's the waiting game until the paints dry. Thank you for following me through the paint making process. I hope you found this video helpful. I'll see you next time.